I believe it was a free and fair election and that you lost.
You don't really believe that?
That's my belief.
All right. Well, then you're a fool.
However,
then you're a fool.
Maybe I am a fool. Maybe I'm the fool in this conversation. So you are going to vote.
I love our country. Our country is going to hell. I think a lot of people are going to be very happy.
So you're going to run?
I'm not going to say that. But you know why, though? You know why? Because if our country doesn't have fair and free elections, and if our country doesn't have borders, we don't have a country.
Okay.
We have crooked, corrupt.
Lady Angel Reese just dropped a triple-double, but that wasn't the only thing people were watching. The real headline? A tense moment on the court after some hair-pulling sparked a shift in her energy. 1 second she was locked into the game. The next, she was letting it be known she wasn't letting that slide. Her reaction had everyone buzzing. Intense looks, fired-up energy, and emotions running high. The game was over, but the tension wasn't. It didn't feel like a post-game wrap-up, it felt like the start of something bigger. Next voice, let's get real. The biggest foul of the night wasn't Angel Reese's shooting percentage. It was the hair pull. Forget the box score for a moment. In the middle of a professional game, someone thought it was okay to yank another player's braid. That's not part of the sport, it's flat-out disrespectful. Reese's reaction? She swung her arms, clearly fired up, and ready to stand her ground. And honestly, who wouldn't be? So here's the question. Why isn't this being taken seriously? In the NBA, players get hit with technicals for far less. Yet Reese ends up in the spotlight like she's the problem. If you think this should be addressed, maybe even with the suspension. Drop your thoughts in the comments. This isn't just a heated moment. It's a bigger conversation. Next voice, you can't just grab someone's hair in a professional game and expect fans to cheer it on. This isn't middle school PE or some hallway scuffle. It's the WNBA. Calling it incidental contact is just downplaying what was clearly intentional. It looked more like someone pulling a pin from a grenade than a normal foul. Let's be clear. It should have been called a flagrant. But at the same time, Reese's reaction wasn't okay either. She let her emotions take over, and that deserves attention too. What's frustrating is how quickly the narrative shifted. Instead of holding her accountable, many jumped to defend her, labeling her as just passionate or misunderstood. But let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, and someone had done that to Reese, we'd already be watching SportsCenter segments and scrolling through a wave of hot takes online. Next voice, because it was Angel Reese. The league's response felt more like a group hug than real discipline. Yes, she recorded a triple-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and honestly, 10 emotional flare-ups, and suddenly, it's being framed as a career-defining moment. But let's be real, this wasn't a performance for the history books. Shooting 28% from the field is far from impressive. Yet the coverage made it seem like she just changed the game. A historic night? More like a night where the drama outweighed the actual production. Way possible.
Do you accept that early on in the pandemic that you didn't take it serious enough, or you were being told how serious it was?
No, I don't accept.
You weren't sharing that with the American people.
I'm a cheerleader for this country. Our country came out of it better than anybody else. We've done a great job. I want to be positive for this country. I take everything seriously, and I took that very seriously. But I'm a cheerleader for the country. This was a 20-minute interview. I think it's fine. It's fine.
I haven't asked about
fantastic in your opinion.
I wanted to end with the hole-in-one. I just haven't asked about the hole-in-one.
A triple-double sounds great, unless you're shooting like you're working on a construction site. But somehow, that low-efficiency night became the week's biggest headline. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark drops 30, takes more hits than a crash test dummy, and gets barely a mention unless she's on the floor again. Reese shoots below average. And suddenly ESPN acts like she solved world hunger. Are we giving out MVP buzz based on vibes now? Next voice, the irony here is hard to ignore. Angel Reese treats her own hair like it's off limits. Touch it, and it's a whole situation. But when it comes to someone else's braid, suddenly, it's open season. That kind of double standard stands out. You can't demand respect for your own space while pulling on someone else's like it's a game. That's not toughness, it's hypocrisy. Next voice, the problem isn't just the foul, it's the attitude that follows. After pulling someone's hair, Angel Reese acted like it was some big, iconic moment. She carried herself like she deserved a trophy, walking around as if she made the rules and every technical foul was just her being real. The issue isn't her drive to win, it's the constant image of being a misunderstood star she shows up like the league owes her something. Every foul, not her fault. Every clash, someone else started it. And when anyone speaks up, it gets dismissed as jealousy. Reese takes every bit of feedback as a personal attack and treats taking responsibility like it's optional. That's not confidence, that's avoiding accountability and turning it into drama. Some say she's just being true to herself, and that's fine. But if being herself means dragging others down and playing the victim, maybe we need to stop cheering for it. Next voice. What's even more frustrating than what happens on the court is how some commentators react to it like every outburst is some major cultural breakthrough. She's changing the game, they say. But really, it feels more like she's turning it into a reality show. Angel Reese gets dramatic on the court, and suddenly, it's treated like performance art. Her stats get hyped up like they belong in a Hall of Fame, while the actual foul where she physically grabbed another player barely gets mentioned. Why? Because she pulled down a few rebounds? Let's be real. If Caitlin Clark had done the same thing, the media would explode with outrage and debates about sportsmanship. But when Reese does it, it's brushed off as having an edge, and people are told to applaud it. Playing well doesn't excuse bad behavior. That's like giving someone a community award for helping a neighbor right after they vandalized a car. Next voice. There comes a point where we have to set boundaries. Being competitive? That's part of the game. Playing physical? Absolutely. But taking cheap shots and calling it misunderstood genius doesn't raise the sport, it just turns it into a show. Caitlin Clark plays hard, takes the hits, and stays calm. She doesn't need tricks to stand out. She plays the game right, lifts her team, and shows what the future of basketball looks like. Angel Reese, on the other hand, seems stuck playing both villain and victim. That act gets old fast. There's a clear difference between being tough and playing dirty, especially when you expect applause for it. Next voice. Let's just take a moment to laugh at this whole situation. Angel Reese's latest drama totally stole the spotlight from her team's big win. The Chicago Sky could have used this moment to shine, but instead, it turned into another Reese solo performance, playing the misunderstood villain. She's not just there to play basketball. She brings all the drama, the side stories, and enough baggage to need airport security. Every game feels like a mini soap opera. A scuffle here, a stare down there, maybe a confusing tweet later, and she still acts like she's the face of the league. Really? Is this what we want? The WNBA's biggest story being non-stop drama full of glitter and grudges? No thanks. The league deserves